ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरोन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सागणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सागणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नामिनि नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। नमो ब्राह्मण देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्हिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय ते नमः। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय नाम जय दास ठाकुर की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। हरे कृष्णा, वेलकम एवरीवन फॉर टुडेस क्लास। कृष्णा, so we have to start new prayers today, prayers of demigods. Okay, so anyone can tell when did demigods offer prayers? There may be many instances, but one most.
When Krishna was in the womb of Mother Devaki.
Yes, right. So that was the when devatas were offering prayers, right? So why were they offering prayers? What was the? I mean, what was the reason why were demigods offering prayers when Krishna was in the womb?
Because they knew that Vishnu was coming to rid the earth of demons, so they were welcoming
Yeah.
him.
Who was the demon that time? I mean, who was troubling
Kamsa.
everyone?
Kamsa.
Yeah. Yes. So it was Kamsa, right? So we know that when so once like Kamsa's own his sister, who was his sister? Sister was getting married, right? To his own his friend. Actually, Vasudeva was his friend and was in his assembly only. So he was getting married his sister Devaki to Vasudeva. So that time after when he was taking them in a chariot, he himself was taking, right, Kamsa. So what did happen when he was taking in chariot? He heard something, right? Ashariravani, it is said. So what did it said? Which made him kill their children, right?
That Devaki's eighth child is going to kill Kamsa.
Yes. So what did he do? So
He tried to kill Devaki.
Yeah, and then?
And then Vasudeva explained him that it is not Devaki who is going to cause his death, but her kids. So leave her for now, and when the kids are born, I will bring them to you, so you can do whatever you want with them.
Yes. So that time, it's Prabhupada says that Krishna gave the intelligence, right? So to Vasudeva to speak like that, you know? So that So why are you unnecessarily killing, no, her? So I will give you all the babies. So like the same way, he gave also, right? After every birth, he knew that this baby is going to get killed, but he didn't have any option. He knew, I mean, because he also heard that Shari Ravani, that eighth child is going to be born. The Lord is coming and he is going to kill the Kamsa. So what did happen in the, like, six children were killed, and then who was born as the seventh child?
Balram.
Balaram.
Yeah, Balram. And what happened? Was he able to kill Balram, or what happened?
No, they moved from the womb of Mother Devaki to Mother Yashoda. So he was born to Mother Yashoda.
Not
And
Yashoda,
then
it's Rohini.
Rohini, Mother Rohini. And
Yeah,
then they thought that Mother Devaki experienced a miscarriage,
yes,
and then Krishna came.
yes. And the eighth child. So somebody else also was born to Yashoda, no? That time. Who was that?
Durga.
When Krishna was born, yeah, it's Durga. So she was like Krishna's sister, right? So as per the Lord's, because she is like, she works as per the instruction of Lord, no? सृष्टिस्थितिप्रलयसाधनशक्तिरेका छाये वयस्य भुवनानि बिभर्ति दुर्गा इच्छानुरूपमपि यस्य च चेष्टते सा गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. So in Brahma's prayers, in Brahma Samhita, it is said that so she is maintaining this universe as per the instruction of the Lord. How is she able to do that? Because Krishna has told to do that. So based on that, based on Lord's instruction, so she agrees to take birth in Mother Yashoda's womb. And then Krishna, after his birth, he asked, how was he born? How did Krishna appear to Devaki and
In
Yashoda?
Chaturbhuja form.
Oriented from.
Yeah. So it is said that the Lord appeared first in the heart of Vasudeva, and then he went to Devaki's heart, and then to the womb of Devaki, and then he appeared in the four-handed form, right? So very beautiful form, and thereby, so everything auspicious started. So, and so it is said, like never Vasudeva was never able to even protect his wife, but Lord tells him, you have to protect me, you have to take from this prison and give it in, in Braj, that is where Yashoda Maya is there, you have to hand it over to me. Krishna says, and then he knew that he is Lord, right? Devaki and Vasudeva, they knew very well that he is the Vishnu himself has appeared in the room, right? Because he shows his form, and then he was taken to Yashoda Maya in the night, right? We know all that. So this is basically, actually, this prayer comes in Canto 10, which is actually Krishna book. No, basically Prabhupada has written this complete 10th canto, the stories of Lord's pastime in the Krishna book. So these are this. So this starts with 26th prayer of demigods. So verse 26. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtikim Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Krupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Shri Guru Dina Dayanam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. It's very big puppet we have. So I think maybe today we'll be able to do only one. I don't know. Let's see how much time it takes. Verse 26, Canto 10, Chapter 2, verse 26. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye satyasya satyam rita satyanetram satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye satyasya satyam rita satyanetram satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha. Satyavratam satyaparam trisatyam
Satyaparam trisatyam
satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye
satyasya yonim nihitam cha satye
satyasya satyam rita satyanetram
satyasya satyam mruta satyanetram
satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha.
satyatmakam tvam sharanam prapannaha.
So many satya, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times satya word has come. Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'll just read the translation. The demigods prayed, "O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect, because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, the real truth in all ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone, for all time. You are beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Maybe we can share and read, because it's a big purport. So who will start? Veena Mataji will start first one.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please start.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The demigods or devotees know perfectly well that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the true substance, whether within the material world or in the spiritual world. Srimad Bhagavatam begins therefore with the words Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Satyam Param Dhimahi. Vasudeva, Krishna, is the Param Satyam, the Supreme Truth. The Supreme Truth can be approached or understood by the Supreme Method as declared by the Supreme Truth. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yasmi chasmi tattvataha. Bhakti, devotional service, is the only way to understand the absolute truth. For protection, therefore, the demigods surrender to the supreme truth, not to the relative truth. There are persons who worship various demigods, but the supreme truth, Krishna, declares in Bhagavad Gita 7.23, Antavattu phalam tesham tadbhavatyalpa medasham. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Worship of demigods may be useful for a limited time, but the result is antavat, perishable. This material world is impermanent, and the demigods are impermanent, and the benedictions derived from the demigods are also impermanent, whereas the living entities is eternal. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Katha Upanishad 2.2.13. Every living entity therefore must search for eternal happiness, not temporary happiness. The words Satyam Param Dhimahi indicate that one should search for the absolute truth, not the relative truth. Should I continue or someone else will read
Yeah,
my
you continue till 7.9.19.
Okay. While offering prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narasimhadeva, Prahlad Maharaja said, Balasya neham sharanam pitaro Narasimha nartasya chagadam udvan ud, udanvati majjato nauha. Generally, it is understood that the protectors for a child are his parents, but this is not actually the fact. The real protector is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Tapasyatat pratividhirya ijas Ihanja setstas tavad vibhotanubratam tvad upekshitanam. If neglected
Complete
by the
the.
Supreme yeah, if neglected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a child, despite the presence of his parents, will suffer, and a deceased person, despite all medical help, will die. In this material world where there is a struggle for existence, men have invented many means for protection, but these are useless if the Supreme Personality of Godhead rejects them. Therefore, the demigods purposefully say, Satyamakam Tvam Sharanam Prapannaha. Real protection can be obtained from you, O Lord, and therefore we surrender unto you.
Yeah, Muralidhar Prabhu, please continue. From
Hare
here,
Krishna
the
Mataji.
Lord, Hare Krishna.
The Lord demands that one surrender unto him. Sarva dharmana parityagya
Sorry.
mama ekam sharanam vraja. And he further says, Shakriya eva prapano yash tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami etam vritam mama. If one surrenders unto me sincerely, saying, My Lord, from this day I am fully surrendered unto you, I always give him protection. This is my vow. Ramayana Yuddha Kanda 18.33. The demigods offered their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he had now appeared in the womb of his devotee Devaki to protect all the devotees harassed by Kamsa and his lieutenants. Thus, the Lord acts as Satyavrata. The protection given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be compared to the protection given by the demigods. It is said that Ramana was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, but when Lord Ramchandra went to kill him, Lord Shiva could not give him protection. Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, accompanied by great sages like Narada and followed by many other demigods, had now invisibly appeared in the house of Kamsa. They began to pray for the Supreme Personality of Godhead in select prayers, which are very pleasing to the devotees and which award fulfillment of devotional desires. The first words they spoke acclaimed that the Lord is true to his vow. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna descends upon this material world just to protect the pious and destroy the impious. That is his vow. The demigods could understand that the Lord has taken his residence within the womb of Devaki to fulfill this vow. They were very glad that the Lord was appearing to fulfill his mission, and they addressed him as Satyam Param, or the Supreme Absolute Truth. Everyone is searching after the truth. That is the philosophical way of life. The demigods give information that the Supreme Absolute Truth is Krishna. One who becomes fully Krishna conscious can attain the Absolute Truth. Krishna is the Absolute Truth. Relative truth is not truth in all the three phases of eternal time. Time is divided into past, present, and future. Krishna is truth always, past, present, and future. In the material world, everything is being controlled by Supreme Time in the course of the past, present, and future. But Before the creation, Krishna was existing, and when there is creation, everything is resting in Krishna. And when this creation is finished, Krishna will remain. Therefore, he is the absolute truth in all circumstances. If there is any truth within this material world, it emanates from the Supreme Truth, Krishna. If there is any opulence within this material world, the cause of the opulence is Krishna. If there is any reputation within this material world, the cause of reputation is Krishna. If there is any strength within this material world, the cause of such strength is Krishna. If there is any wisdom and education within this material world, the cause of such wisdom and education is Krishna. Therefore, Krishna is the source of all relative truths.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Devotees,
So anybody else want to read now? Continue. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Mangala Mataji, you want to read? Or Deepti Mataji, anyone?
Hare
From
Krishna.
here. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Devotees, therefore, following in the footsteps of Lord Brahma, pray, Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami, worshipping the Adi Purusha, the Supreme Truth, Govinda. Everything everywhere is performed in terms of three principles: Jnana, Bala, Kriya, knowledge, strength, and activity. In every field, if there is not full knowledge, full strength, and full activity, an endeavor is never successful. Therefore, if one wants success in everything, one must be backed by these three principles. In the Vedas, Svetasvatara Upanishad 6.8, there is this statement about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. न तस्य कार्यं करणं च विद्यते न तत् समश्चाभ्यधिकश्च दृश्यते परास्य शक्तिर्विविधैव श्रूयते स्वभाविकी ज्ञानबलक्रिया च. The Supreme Personality of Godhead does not need to do anything personally, for he has such potencies that anything he wants done will be done perfectly well through the control of material nature. Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriya Cha. Similarly, those who are engaged in the service of the Lord are not meant to struggle for existence. The devotees who are fully engaged in spreading the Krishna consciousness movement, more than 10,000 men and women all over the world, have no steady or permanent occupation, yet we actually see that they are maintained very opulently. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.22, Ananyas mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. For those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, I carry to them what they lack and preserve what they have. The devotees have no anxiety over what will happen next, where they will stay or what they will eat, for everything is maintained and supplied by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has promised, Kaunteya Pratigyanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Bhagavad Gita 9.31. From all angles of vision, therefore, in all circumstances, if one fully surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there is no question of one struggling for existence. In this connection, the commentary by Sripada Madhvacharya, who quotes from the Tantra Bhagavata, is very meaningful. Sat Shabda Uttamam Bruyad Anandan Titi Vai Vadid Yetti Jnanam Samudhishtam पूर्णानन्ददृशिस्ततः अत्र वाच न तदा दानात् सत्यायत्य कोच्यते विभु. Explaining the words Satyasya Yonim, Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura says that Krishna is the Avatari, the origin of all incarnations. All incarnations are the absolute truth, yet the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the origin of all incarnations. Deepachir eva hi dashantaram abhyupetya deepayate. Brahma Samhita 5.46. There may be many lamps, all equal in power, yet there is a first lamp, a second lamp, a third lamp, and so on. Similarly, there are many incarnations who are compared to lamps, but the first lamp, the original personality of Godhead, is Krishna. Govindam Adi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Hare Krishna Mataji.
One more. Last paragraph. The demigods must offer worship.
The demigods must offer worship in obedience to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But one might argue that since the Supreme Godhead was within the womb of Devaki, he was also coming in a material body. Why then should he be worshipped? Why should one make a distinction between an ordinary living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead? These questions are answered in the following verses. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Speak properly. Translation. The demigods prayed, O Lord, you never deviate from your vow, which is always perfect because whatever you decide is perfectly correct and cannot be stopped by anyone. Being present in the three phases of cosmic manifestation, creation, maintenance, and annihilation, you are the supreme truth. Indeed, unless one is completely truthful, one cannot achieve your favor, which therefore cannot be achieved by hypocrites. You are the active principle, that real truth in all ingredients of creation, and therefore you are known as Antaryami, the inner force. You are equal to everyone, and your instructions apply for everyone for all time. You are the beginning of all truth. Therefore, offering our obeisances, we surrender unto you. Kindly give us protection. Okay. So here we see that Lord is the supreme truth, and there is a mention of relative truth. So what is the difference between relative truth and supreme truth? Why is Krishna called as supreme truth?
Because relative truth is temporary and
So
belongs to the
example, any
demigods.
example, relative truth.
Whatever demigods bless on us, it is temporary
Yes.
happiness, or whatever is our desire, temporary desire, which is fulfilled. But
Yes.
the Supreme Lord's is eternal and
So whatever
permanent.
benediction Krishna gives is permanent, right? So
Yes.
we have heard about the three causes in this material world, right? What are those three causes? For anything to exist, there are three causes. What are those causes?
Adhyatmik, Adibhautik, Adidaivik.
No. Those are secondary miseries.
Okay.
Those are miseries.
Creation,
I'm talking about the
creation
cause.
maintenance. Creation,
Huh?
maintenance, annihilation.
No. Those are the three, like Krishna undertakes those, what to say, creation. He only does creation with the different, right? Creation, maintenance, and annihilation. That is different. So he creates the world, he maintains, and he annihilates. So that's a part of cycle, right? So
Is it
three
the
cause.
misery caused by self, caused by the
No, we
surroundings,
have
and
heard
caused
about
by
that this one, na? Like, see, there is a, like, for anything in this material world, if you say that there is a gold, no, gold jewelry, okay, we'll take some gold necklace. So for that gold necklace to happen, what are the things required? I've heard
gold
the
raw
term Upadana.
The pure
Huh?
gold, the
Hmm.
gold, and the person who's making the ornament,
Yeah,
and
goldsmith is required.
goldsmith,
And then
and then the equipment
material.
that he needs to.
Yeah, equipment. Yeah. So gold, material, equipment, and the person. So only anything we take in this material world. So there are these causes, no? In the Upadana Karana, no? So instrumental cause. So what are the other two causes? I'm not getting the name. Efficient cause, I think, right? So basically, the three things is the essential ingredients required. There's an instrument required to do that, and then there's a person required. So if somebody tells you to remove gold, so will their jewelry remain? There is no jewelry, right? If we remove gold from the jewelry, then there is no jewelry. So, but it is not like that in case of Krishna. So Krishna, even Krishna was there even when the world is not there. He was, so he's inside the world, he's outside the world. We can't understand this, right? So what is this called? Philosophy. So Krishna is inside and outside. What do we call that? Specific. Yeah, it's Achinta Veda Veda, no? Simultaneously, same and different. So it is very difficult to understand how Krishna does that, right? So that is, and whatever Krishna has made, it's like, I mean, he has made this material world, it is temporary, but then Krishna, he is supreme truth. Like he always exists in all the time, in all the place, right? So there is no restriction. So it is not, it's like Prabhupada says, Krishna Leela happening in simultaneously, it happened different universes and different pastimes is happening continuously. There's no end. Like maybe for us it is not there. He just came 5,000 years ago, but now also he'll be doing his pastime in some other place. So it's always exists and it is eternal. It's nothing like it's over. Like because we are bound, we cannot think also something that it's beyond. Like we have here in this material world, we have something called past, something present and future. But there's no such time in spiritual world. It is ever existing, eternal. That is why if somebody, a devotee is having certain kind of rasa, so always he can have that. Like if somebody is want to see Krishna as a child, always Krishna is in the same form. No, he never grows in that form. He's always they can always relish that form with the Lord in the spiritual world. So Krishna is supreme truth, and the Prabhupada mentions here that whatever we the devatas, when we worship the devatas, it's all temporary because Krishna, when he was born, he says, Name Vidusar, no, in chapter 10, Name Vidussuraganaha Prabhavan Maharshayah Ahamadirhi Devana Maharshina Cha Sarvadaha. So nobody knows me. No, Name Vidu Suraganaha. Suragana means all these devatas. They don't know me. Not even the great sages. Because Prabhavanna Maharshaya, even the great sages don't know me. And Ahama, why? Because I am the Adi. I am the Adi Purusha. No? Govindam Adi Purusham. He was there, always present. Krishna always present. We all come in certain time and we die. Right? Whoever in this material world, including all the 84 lakh species, including the all animals and plants, water species, all they come in certain period of time and they live for some time and they get annihilated. But only the Lord remains in all the time. No, that was the reason when Arjuna asked Krishna, like, Krishna, you're saying that this Bhagavad Gita knowledge was given to Sun God 120 million years ago. How is this possible, right? So then the Lord answers this question. So that I am always there. No, Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna tanyam veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. So both of us have taken many lives. But I remember everything, but you don't remember. You are also always there, right? So Krishna says there that I have taken many births. So what is the need of Lord taking birth? Because he is eternal and unborn. It is said unborn. Then what is his birth? Why is he taking? What is the reason? Krishna says, right, in Bhagavad Gita. Why does he come to this material world?
Yada yada hi dharmasya jnanir bharata apyutta nama dharmasya tadatmanam srajamyaham. To annihilate the demons, to protect the devotees, and to re-establish dharma.
Yes.
He's not born, but he appears. Yeah.
He appears. Yes. How does he appear? Out of what Maya it is? Is it Yoga Maya or Mahamaya? How does Lord
Yoga
appear?
Maya.
Yeah. Sambhavami Atma Maya. That is internal potency. So that is Yoga Maya. Krishna comes. So why the Lord comes like that, and what is his actually intention? So Prabhupada gives so many different analogies actually. So it's just like there's a king, no? When a king goes to a prison, so it's not like when a king goes to prison, somebody who don't know that he is king, they may, if he like, he can sometimes put a different costume and go like a normal person or a normal thief, but he does not become a thief. Just like Krishna says, avajananti mamuda manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajanantah mama bhutamaheshwaram. So the fools does not know me. When I go in the human form, they think me as a normal human being, but it is not so. Krishna is actually, we read in the purport, right? He is avatari. He comes in his own form. That is his spiritual form. So that is why he always remained Navayovanamcha, means always like a 16-year-old boy. Krishna looked like appeared always like a young boy. So he doesn't age. So there's a difference between our body and Krishna's body, right? Our body will deteriorate, but Lord's body doesn't. And he comes in and out of his sweet will, whenever he wished to come. And Krishna says that every millennium I come. No, I come in every millennium, and we know like whenever he comes, every time there is a different purpose. Whenever and every time there is a pray from the Devatas or Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. Like when Lord Brahma, they pray and then only the Lord appears because there is some cause. So just like how a king can disguise in a different form and go and sometimes he go into he want to see his kingdom, how whether people are happy or they suffering. So similarly Krishna also comes out of compassion only, compassion for his pure devotees, because they want to be with the Lord, they want to experience that, they want to relish the moments with the Lord. That's because it is said, what punya this Devaki and Vasudeva has done in the previous lives. Sutta Goswami says like how he was born to them, and what Yashoda Maya has done, and what these gopis they have done, the austerities we can't imagine, because Krishna has come as their friend, as their son, and all that, as their lover. So how much austerity they must have done. So Krishna, out of compassion, no, because even for annihilation, it's not difficult. All these three secondary, devatas are there, and we know like uh, the three type of what to say, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika Klesha. So these things Krishna can use and annihilate the demons. But his main purpose is he comes to give pleasure to his devotees, right? So it's out of compassion only. Like even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes out of compassion. So Krishna comes and gives Bhagavad Gita, knowledge, instruction, but people are still not following. No? And then who prayed actually for the Lord to appear in Kali Yuga as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
Advait
Acharya.
Yeah, Advaita Acharya, right? So Advaita Acharya, who is the incarnation of? He is the incarnation of someone, no?
Shiva and
He's
Vishnu.
Yeah, Shiva and Vishnu, Sakshaveta. So he is the incarnation of Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva, right? So he prays to the Lord that people are very fallen and they're not able to, we can't imagine, right? It's around 500 years back also, when people were becoming very atheistic and they were not believing in God, there was no chanting of holy name. So that time he felt very bad. And we know that the devotees of the Lord are very compassionate. So they when they pray, only Krishna comes. Like otherwise, the Lord will not appear. So there also, like Krishna comes in different. How do we know the presence of the Lord? So basically, Krishna can come in different ways. In like he can come as a Chaitya Guru in our heart, and he can give us guidance. Right? Many times So very evidently, many things we know which is right and which is wrong, which is dharma, which is adharma. These are all. How do we know that Krishna as Paramatma, he gives that intelligence so that we should not do. But then sometimes we knowingly also we do, right? That then the person will always lament at later years, or like, why did I do that, or some hurting someone, or doing bad for some people, like doing all those things, becoming envious and creating trouble for other, or harming other living entities. All these things are wonders. They cannot be peaceful. No? Like Prabhupada says, when we harm others, we can never be at peace. So because that is always in our heart, that is known. We know that what we have done is right or not. So that intelligence is given by the Lord as a Chaitya Guru. And sometimes he comes as a guidance when the student is ready. Prabhupada says that he will appear as a spiritual master, like correct spiritual master, no, the bona fide spiritual master. He comes in front and he gives the guidance. So like we know, like how many there for the Bilva Mangala Thakur, how the his girlfriend, right, the prostitute actually, so she only spoke like, instead of being so lusty towards me, if the same, if you become put your thinking and feeling all that in Lord, you would have become liberated. So that strike him when he heard that from the prostitute. So then he immediately took up to Krishna conscious. So similarly like that, so Lord will come in the different. So like Prabhupada went to West, and so he delivered so many people, and now also by reading his books, so many changes happen and people's lives change. And this is all the compassion of devotees, because devotees, all the qualities are coming from the Lord only, right? Krishna says, we read also in this purport, how all the qualities are coming from Lord, whatever qualities we have. So similarly, the compassion, because when we are associating with something, we get those qualities. So similarly, devotees are always associating with the Lord, and that is why they imbibe those qualities, and they become transcendental to the three modes of material nature. So that is why they are not hypocrites. They are actually serving the Lord with devotion, and they have that real compassion. Like when we see, like Guru Maharaj also, so how much compassion he has. So many, yeah, because how many he is giving initiations to so many people. So because to deliver them, because we hear that once somebody take the initiation, like it becomes the responsibility of a guru to deliver him from the cycle of birth and death. So he is always there. So even he'll come, and guru cannot go back to Godhead, it is said, until he takes even the last disciple back home to back to Godhead. So he will always so through devotees also Krishna comes. And then in the Kali Yuga, he comes in the form of a holy name, because holy name is very powerful in Kali Yuga, no? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us this. He started the Sankirtana movement, and he gave. Bhagavatam says, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sango Pangasta Parsadam Yagnai Sankirtana Praye Yajantihi Sumedasa. So the Lord will appear in Kali Yuga as Krishna, but his color is not of Krishna, because Krishna is said to be like the tamala tree. Tamala tree means dark, like bluish. But then he's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like a golden color, because he's taking the mood of Radharani. Radharani is very fair, right? He's coming. So Visha Krishna means he's not dark. Sango Pangastra Parsadam. So he's having all the weapons, and weapon is actually the Harinam. Harinam is a weapon which is killing all our anarthas and establishing us in a pure mode of goodness. So, Sangha Sapastadam, Yagnai Sankirtana Praye. So he is going to the Sankirtana Yagna. No? So Yagnanam Japa Yagnosmi. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the Japa Yagna. So even just by chanting Krishna's name, one can, when truly we chant with devotion and faith, so it is said we can realize the Lord. So, like Prabhupada says, somebody asked Prabhupada, how much time it take for surrender, to Krishna? To realize the Lord. So Krishna, Prabhupada said, just 1 minute. But so much of sincerity one should have. Just like Khatvanga Maharaj, Khatvanga Maharaj, it is said, anyone know the story of Khatvanga Maharaj? What happened? Must have heard. Anyone heard? No?
No,
Nobody
Mataji.
heard. Okay. So there was one king, okay. So it is said he was very pious and religious king. And once the Lord Indra and the Devatas were in problem, like the demons were troubling. So they approached the king for help. And he went and he fought for thousands of years, it is said. And he fought there. And finally he had to come down, right? So he many years had passed, and it was like obviously all his five, nobody would be there, right? Generation would have passed because the timing is different in the higher planets. Actually, then he asked them, like, when is my death time? They asked, like, what you want, you tell, what boon you want. We can give you anything, that Devatas said. Like, whatever boon, you want riches, you want longer life, whatever, we will grant you. So he said, I want to know when is my death. Then they said, okay, you're just having a moment, in some time you are going to die. So immediately it is said that he took into the devotional service onto Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he made his life perfect. That is, he achieved the Vaikuntha Loka. So just by a second, it doesn't take much time, but so much of conviction. So similarly, when the pure devotees chant, right, they get all those ashtavikar, what we say, the transcendental thing happening in the body. Nayanam galadashtu dharaya, vadanam gadgadaya ruddaya gira, pulakai nichitam vapukkada, tava nama grahane bhavishyati. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shikshastakam, the eyes is filled with tears. Lord Krishna, his compassion, his voice used to choke. Those are all that happens when somebody is advanced very much in spiritual life. But somebody very neophyte devotees, when they say like it happens to me, then Prabhupada says that is sajiya. Sajiya means that is not true. That is emotional actually. We may, for us it will be out of emotion we may get, but then for devotees it is pure love. It's not emotion. No? So those are all happen. So as a merciful incarnation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and give us this Harinam. So Krishna comes to mainly for out of compassion to this material world, and for us devotees. Whenever the devotee pray, he will come. And how can we know? Okay, we know that Krishna is there everywhere, right? Krishna is outside, Krishna is inside. Inside us also as Paramatma, and outside also is there. Everywhere Krishna is there. Anuraniyam Mahato Mahiyam, it is said. So even in the atom, Krishna is there. But how do we know his presence, Lord's presence? How can we know? How can we realize? Yeah. Any examples? How to realize the Lord's presence? Krishna says in many places in Bhagavad Gita,
He even says he is the taste of the water. So there are a lot of vibhutis that we can remember him from. Yeah.
Yes. So there are in chapter 7 he says Rasohamapsu Kaunteya, no? Rasohamapsu Kaunteya Prabhasmi Shashi Suryayoho. So he says, I am the no, anything that is like water. The taste of water is me. Because whenever we drink water, we can think of Krishna. And all that is illuminating, no, everything that is illuminating, sun, moon, the stars, that light is they are illuminating because of from my light. So from Krishna only those light. No, that is why in spiritual world there is no light required. Krishna says, right? Na tad bhasayate suryah na shashanko na pavakah yad gatva na nivartante tad dhama paramam mama. So Krishna says, in my spiritual world, there's no need of sun and moon. Natat bhasayate surya. There's no sun, there's no moon. Why? Because Krishna's effulgence is there. So whatever in this material world that is effulgent or beautiful, everything is, we have to be thinking that whenever we see somebody beautiful, we should remember Krishna. Because Krishna says, Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam srimad urjitameva va tattadeva gacchastvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Whatever beautiful thing you see or any opulent or any strength we see, like Prabhupada mentioned in the purport also. So anybody having who are very strength or rich, anything opulent we see in material world, we should immediately think of Krishna. Or somebody is very intelligent, or somebody is very famous. When we see them, we should immediately think of Krishna, because Krishna says all those things, vibhutis, are coming from me only. So some favor is there of the Lord, obviously. Otherwise, because as Kunti Maharani says, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shivi. All these four things, if somebody is born in has taken a very good birth, and Aishwarya, like very opulent, Shruta, education, and Shribi is beauty. So if these are present in someone, obviously, so there is some mercy of the Lord, right? Otherwise, it is not possible to have those opulences, because everything is coming from the Lord only. And also, like we know, like in Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matta smriti gnanam apohanam cha. Even from me, I am there in heart of every living entity, and from me comes the remembrance, forgetfulness, and smritim is memory. So somebody is very good and able to remember, having good memory and intelligence. So that is also coming from Krishna. So we should know all that. So Krishna says it's all coming from me only, right? So so basically, Krishna, why do we have to know about all this? So Krishna, that also Krishna says, when you know about my birth and my activities, because everything is divyam, it's transcendental when Lord does. So one will not have to come to this material world, no? Janma karma cha me divyam eva yoveti tatvatha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. So what is the benefit of knowing all these activities and of the birth of Krishna? Even just by hearing, one can come out of this cycle of birth and death. So this is the reason, right? That is why we want to hear in the association of devotees about the Lord. Because when we come in the association of materialistic people, we don't get to hear all this. We will hear about some famous personality in material world, somebody richest person in the material world. But all that does not give us any benefit. All this does not give us any benefit. There are temporary, and it's all like waste. It all it doesn't have any value. But then when we hear about like Lord's pastime like this in the association of devotees, so it gives us so much spiritual benefit. And so there are different reasons why Krishna comes. One is to please or out of compassion, and also to protect, right? And he says, I am always protect, like in this sloka, Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityaviyuktanam yogakshemam vayam. So Krishna says, I always carry to them what they lack and preserve what they have. So something you have. So everybody has some talent, yes or no? Is anybody? Is it that we don't? Whenever you compare with yourself to others, something you have special which the other person may not have. Yes or no? We all have that something
Yes,
which Krishna has
Mataji.
given. Yes, right. So we have to be more grateful to the Lord that Krishna has given that. So by being grateful, we can remember Krishna. So whatever Krishna has given us, or we will have nice family. We are having, there was some quote, right? It's some materialistic person has done, but then it's a good one. Like if you are having a roof above your head and you're having something to eat and sleeping, and these basic things, if we are having also, we should think that we are so fortunate and Lord has blessed me, because there are so many people who don't have a roof, right? They'll be sleeping outside. If we think all those things, if we start counting our blessings and we are grateful to Lord, then we cannot thank enough. But we forget. We take everything for granted, actually. Usually we take everything for granted and we can't remember the Lord. We easily forget. But if we start to count the blessings or small things, which it may look small for us, but it will be it's actually big things. We can't. If we start counting, then we can never lament on small things, right? Because Krishna never discriminate. Like the sun, Krishna is like the sun. Like sun is doesn't discriminate. He gives the light to everyone, right? So, but somebody goes and hide in a dark room. What can the sun do? Sun light is there, available, free for everyone. But the person goes inside the dark room and said, what can the sun do? So similarly, Krishna's mercy is there, flowing for everyone. And but then if we are not ready to take it, so Krishna can't do anything, right? So Krishna also will wait. Okay, I think this soul is still not ready. Maybe he need more time, or in the right time when it comes, he will send through a right person, and everything change. So like how all Prabhupada's students, they were saying, Prabhupada, we are all so fallen, like, how are you? Because Prabhupada were calling him like, you are all from Vaikuntha. So they were like, we were having so many bad habits, we didn't follow any regulative principle, and how come Prabhupada you are saying that you are all Vaikuntha? So he said, see the power, just by telling that, chanting the holy name, they were so attracted, they gave up all their materialistic life and they gave their life to Prabhupada. But this didn't happen in India, right? When Prabhupada was trying to preach, he did that here also, but not everywhere it worked. But those people we took so seriously. So how was that possible? So Prabhupada said, you have done austerity in your previous life. Otherwise, it's not. It's all Krishna's plan. So through others, Krishna will help. So how Krishna helped Prabhupada to spread this movement, right? Because Prabhupada is very dear to the Lord. So obviously, so otherwise, so much a person cannot do so much in such a short time of 10 years. Can't imagine one who goes with the rupees 40 and then he make 40 million, right? Something like that. So, and that in span of 10 years. And it is said Prabhupada had not used that even 40 rupees. He had brought that to Vrindavan and he used in Vrindavan, something like that. So, how is that possible? It's all by Lord's grace, because Prabhupada was able to see that. And but even sometimes in the problems, devotees see Krishna's mercy. If when there is a difficulty, when a problem in life, they think that it's no mercy of the Lord, because when even problem comes, we can how do we be grateful to Lord? Thinking that instead of blaming the Lord, or uh, worrying about the problem, we can think, what is Lord Krishna trying to teach me by this problem? right? So there is some teaching for sure. So whatever, because we are all here because of some karma. We are suffering also because of our own karmas. There's nothing that, what to say, we are suffering without doing anything. If there is no suffering, then we would not be here, right? I mean, if we have not done any sinful activities or any karmic reactions, otherwise, why would we be born here? But Krishna is not like that. He is not born because of karma. No, again, the Lord says, "I am born because of my own will." So, so these are all some thoughts of why Krishna is born as is Aja, and why does he take birth, and also
आई चलो मैं खाने जो ना है मुके हल्दा हूँ जड़ी चाहनी हल्दा
Hare Krishna. Somebody muted. Yeah. So yeah, so Krishna is born, but then we can try to see the Lord in even in the problems also. The pure devotees see. Okay, no, because yasya ham nigraham, something is there. No one was hanishe. I mean, slowly I take everything from the one whom I am favor. We can't understand that. We feel that okay. Many time people ask, right? Oh, if God is there, then why so discrimination? Or somebody is very poor, somebody is very rich. Why is this? Krishna does not do all this. He doesn't engage. No, Krishna says, I udasina vadasina asaktam teshu karmasu. I am not interested in this. Udasina means I am very, no, he's neutral. Asaktam teshu karmasu. I am least interested in these activities. So creating, annihilating, and these things, Krishna is not much. He doesn't do with the three modes, because all this happening because of three modes, and the Lord is away from this. So Krishna does not do all this. Whatever we happen, it happened because of our own karma. But then for Lord, Krishna says, "Name karmani limpanti, name karme phale spruha." I mean, I am not, there's no karma pala for me. There's no reaction of the karma or activities for the Lord, because Krishna is above all that, right? Though he is the creator of all the gunas, Krishna is above the three gunas. So similarly, like that, even he made all those ashramas, varnas, and all for us, but then he is above that. And even for pure devotees, they are above that. No, usse pare hai, they say, no, they are above that, because that doesn't for devotees, it doesn't matter, even if they're because many times, like once Prabhupada married, I mean, he conducted marriage for many of his devotees. As a sannyasi, it is said sannyasi should not engage in this, like conducting marriage and all that. But for Prabhupada, it doesn't matter, because he is not it doesn't matter. The rules and regulations are only for the one in the what to say, the religioustic thing. Like Prabhupada followed everything, but then for this doesn't matter, because for him the intention was, why was he getting married then? Because so that together, like in Grihastha ashram, they were devotees only. He was not doing for any karmis. He was doing for devotees, and they would help him in the mission. So that was Prabhupada's intention. So why not? If that is if somebody is being used as an instrument in spreading the glory of the Lord, then why not? So Prabhupada used everything, like how he used instrument also, right, for dictating, dictaphone. So how he used in the service of Lord. So everything he dovetailed in service of Lord. So yeah, so these are thoughts. Anything you want to add or comment? Hare Krishna. Stop here. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णवी की जय। रामचंद्र दास ठाकुर की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद। Hare Krishna. Any thoughts, any comment you want to add?